This is for you if you missed the writing assignment on April 24th. Write, please, scribe queso, a description. In your notebook, please compare and contrast the two kinds of rowing/boats, ancient and modern. Use details. Please write at least 5 complete and meaningful sentences. So I'll just go over the comparison and contrast for you a bit, and you can base your writing assignment on the discussion in case you missed it in class. So, this is a reconstruction of an ancient Greek and Roman warship. It's made out of wood, very large. As you can see, it's powered by sails that catch the wind, but it's also powered by muscle. There's a crew of 170 people with oars. They row the ship. So it's a very large crew. You can kind of see here how each oar is a long wooden pole with kind of a flat part on the end called the blade. When the rowers are rowing, the blade extends down into the water, and you'll see that in the video that I will show. At the bow or the front of the warship, there's just under the water a kind of pointed beak made out of metal. That's a ram, and that would be used to crash into another ship, put a hole in it, and sink it. This is a modern rowing shell. Obviously, in the ancient world, rowing was used for war and for commerce. Our rowers were skilled professionals. Today, it is strictly for sport, although it may one day make a comeback as something more practical. So, this is a long, thin boat, probably about 1.5 feet wide, 40-some feet long. As you can see, it has 8 oarsmen, 8 rowers. They're in single file, so a far smaller crew than the ancient warship, and then a coxswain, a steersman. Each rower grips one oar. The movements of the rowers and the athletes in modern rowing are very, very similar to the movements of the rowers in the ancient art of rowing, except that modern rowers use their legs. And again, you'll see that in the video that we show. Most boats today are made of fiberglass or some similar type of lightweight material. They're built for speed, not stability. So the rowers have to focus very, very intently on what they are doing at every moment because a slight mistake could flip the boat over. So we should be able to see a couple of videos here. One of a reconstruction of an ancient Greek/Roman warship that's being rowed by contemporary rowers, and the other is the men's 8 final in the latest Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro. So you're going to be able to kind of see, turn down the volume, a direct comparison of the two kinds of rowing. So on the left, you see rowers practicing. They're not on the boat yet. They're just practicing the body movement that they will use when they get into the boat. See that they're using both their arms and their backs, but that their legs, their seats remain still. So they're using both their backs and their arms to row. You can see how they're gripping the oar, and the oar pivots in an oarlock. The flat end will go into the water. And you can also see how they're stacked on top of each other, very crowded together. In the modern sport of rowing, you can see, let me rewind that just a little bit. You can see how the athletes are using their whole body to row. They are using their backs and arms, but they're also using their legs because the seat slides back and forth and they're pushing with their legs as well. Both crews on both ships have to row in perfect unison. If they make a single mistake, they could place the whole ship in danger, throw it off course, or even flip it over. So you can see how all 170 oarsmen, rowers in the ancient warship have to row in perfect unison, how all 8 rowers in the modern rowing shell also have to row together. Here you get a view of the inside of the ship. You can see how strenuous it is. These guys are pretty tired. The modern sport is also very strenuous. An elite athlete in a 6-minute race will burn as much energy as it takes to play 2 basketball games. So there are some of the details comparing the ancient art of rowing, the modern sport of rowing. The body movements are very similar. The exertion is very similar. The basic purpose of it, to move a boat, is absolutely the same. But there are some differences as well. Use details from this discussion to complete your writing assignment.